Thanks for joining us today to learn about our work on gameful learning. I'm Kate Hayward, and today I'm going to share a brief overview of the pedagogical innovation work that Barry Fishman and I have been doing for the last 9 years. The question of how games can inspire us to reimagine learning, school, and society has been central to our work. As we have reflected on the engagement and the learning that are at the heart of great games, we have questioned what it is about the design of school that encourages students to focus on grades rather than learning. A deep review of the literature has led us to believe that to shift this focus, we need to centralize motivation theory alongside learning theory. We need to reimagine the role of both students and educators. We need to reimagine what assessment looks like, and in so doing, we'll create space to imagine fundamentally different outcomes. Gameful pedagogy represents a departure from typical learning sciences thinking about classroom design because of this choice to centralize motivation theory. Gameful pedagogy identifies that students learn better when they're motivated to take ownership over their own learning. By centralizing motivation theory, we are not implying that learning theory is peripheral to designing an effective learning experience. Rather, gameful pedagogy is designed to be employed alongside a range of different teaching approaches. There is no one answer to how games motivate. Through observation and experimentation, we can characterize what elements are motivating for whom and under what circumstances. From self-determination theory, we ground our understanding that learners need to feel autonomous, competent, and belongingness in order to feel intrinsically motivated towards their learning. Expectancy value theory helps us reflect on the perceptions that learners bring. We must understand that they engage differently depending on how activities fit their self-image, depending on the degree to which they find them interesting or useful, and depending on the opportunity cost of engaging. And from achievement goal theory, we can start to make sense of how learners' own goals and concerns relate to successful or maladaptive strategies of engagement. We are just scratching the surface here, and I encourage you to go read our paper to learn more about how we've observed all of these work together. We've distilled 3 design principles that we've observed to be essential for the instructor to set at the heart of their learning design. First, agency. In games, players have agency to customize appearance and skill set and role and the path that they're going to take. In learning, instructors need to centralize students themselves as agents of their own learning, empowering them to make decisions about the work that they're going to do. Second is the space to fail. As most of us have experienced, failure and recovery are key parts of the learning process. Video games have a real advantage on us here, because assessment is done by a computer, with no time constraints and no feelings. And it can take 1 try or 1,000 tries, and the computer is still happy to judge both as equally successful. Instructors can't offer unlimited tries, but that doesn't mean that they can't take steps in the design of the assessment system to help students see failure as part of the learning process and to create space for recovery. Third, systems thinking. Games are intricate and interactive systems. Changing something means you need to think about how other things should change in response. This is especially important when you open things up for students to make decisions. You will see expectancy value theory play out in how they engage, and so it's important to have designed a system whereby whatever range of actions students choose to take, that you as an educator believe in the value of the learning that they've been able to demonstrate. We've broken practices down into 2 levels, those that are at the course design level and those that speak to how to design assessments. I've mapped out the 8 practices that we describe in the paper, and I've already touched on a number of these as we've stepped through the motivational theory lenses. So for today, I just want to call out one more: not employing a grading curve, and so not arbitrarily rationing mastery. There are so many reasons to make this choice, but speaking specifically to student motivation, curves create a negative interdependence between student outcomes that inhibit cooperation and connection. I should add, as you look across this list, that we have explored many, many other items to include. These happen to be the ones that we've seen be most important to establishing a gameful frame in courses across multiple contexts, across domain and level and size. While Barry and I have led these efforts, we have been incredibly lucky in the collaborations that we've found to support this work. To help others bring Gameful to life, we've created 2 resources that are open to anyone: Gameful Pedagogy, a one-stop shop for our current understanding of how best to go about creating excellent gameful courses, and Gradecraft, a lightweight learning management system that we've built to support these learning experiences. Thank you so much to the University of Michigan, to the Center of Academic Innovation, and to the Gradecraft team for all of their support, and thank you to you for listening today.